We are the hiccup in the system. We're not going to stand silent. We're going to fix this. We're going to do whatever it takes to make these guys stop picking on medical cannabis users.
Eloy testified that Officer Bartz did 2 medical checks.
Isn't it true that you said Officer Bartz did the permit check on 6/30/15?
In my written report, I stated that Bartz did the permit check for the property, yes.
And is that true?
Yes,
It's true that Officer Bartz did the permit check.
yes.
Okay, so you knew that there were 2 properties with permits on both.
I didn't know necessarily the permits on the other properties, so I didn't do a check.
Officer Eloy asserted he never did any medical permit checks and has stated multiple times that he was not confused about the issue at all, that Officer Bartz did the medical checks.
So I didn't do a check.
I know there's some confusion. I'm not confused regarding the permit checks, and that's because I know Bartz did the check.
I didn't know necessarily the permits on the other properties, so I didn't do a check.
When you served the search warrant, did you see cannabis on the other property?
I did.
Why didn't you check then?
At that point, again, we were focused on the property where we were executing the search warrant.
With regard to the permit checks,
Yes, sir.
the decision to focus on just one property had nothing to do with the permit checks. When we applied for the permit checks, we sought all applicable permits relating to you and the residents or subject property of the investigation. We did permit checks for 2 of the properties.
Did permit checks for 2 of the properties.
Yes,
Who did the check?
Bartz did.
Bartz did the check.
Bartz did the formal, Officer Bartz did the formal permit checks with the Department of,
Health.
yes.
And did you check with the Department of Health?
And again, I said, it says an officer shall check with the department. In this case, you say Department of Health.
Was it Officer Bart's decision to focus on just one property?
For the permit checks.
Yes, sir.
With regard to the permit checks,
Yes, sir.
We checked with the Department of Health, and the check was done, and 4 permits were found for the property.
we did permit checks for 2 of the properties.
When questioned about why he only checked one property, Eloy testified because there were new regulations, new rules and regs at the time. I'm pretty sure you guys heard him say that. However, there are no new rules. He lied. The rules and regs that were in his hand, the rules and regs that are on file, are the same rules and regs that are in effect today. Police don't normally lie, and there's a reason they lied in this case, and that reason is that I'm innocent. It was a setup, and they were told to lie to make me look guilty. Remember, I had filed police complaints against Officer Leloy. I had sued Leloy before they searched us. It was Leloy trying to get back at me. He used Officer Bartz and Fontenunu as a buffer.
Chemists press the pills while the hippies in the hills plant the next generation, grow the next strain. Grab your horse and your flask and your vaporizer. Come on, let's go. I've got those hippies in the hills and them doctors scripting pills. down in the valley below. Grab your horse and your flask and your vaporizer. Come on, let's go. Hippies in the hills.
All right.
All right, are we ready for the song?